No. No, no, no. How did we get here? Well, let's roll back a few hours and see. I made a few changes to the defaults. I decreased the frequency and size of ore patches, but I increased their richness. I turned off cliffs. I'm just done with them. And, in my infinite wisdom, I decided to increase the frequency of biters. And then decrease their initial spawn size. I hoped this would balance out about mid-game, thanks to the increased evolution. Oh, I forgot. I'm meant to be a professional. Hello, and welcome to Factorio. For those who don't know, Factorio is a game that sees you abandoned to the wilds with nothing more than your tiny little pickaxe. All you have to do is get back to space, that, and avoiding the local population, who, for some reason, tend to be a little over-aggressive, but more on that later. The whole point of today is to create a foundation that enables us to get into the mid-game and start refactoring. Simply put, it's about survival, growing the factory, and when necessary, or when you are bored, introducing your neighbours to your friends. The first part of Factorio is all about grabbing resources. You need to get basic automation in place. For us, that's going to be coal, iron, some stone, and a little copper. The easiest way for us to do this is use burner miners. We can daisy chain them for the coal. This will help them fill up and make sure they're always full. And we can use direct insertion to get iron or copper into furnaces and smelt it right away.
What are you saying? You can't just roll off this stuff and not show any. I hardly think showing one miner into a furnace is game-breaking knowledge here.
We need to get some basic research facilities in place to progress the research. Well, this means power, which is simple. Water, coal, and some steam. But for those of you that insist on seeing the rest of it, this is how we do it. Now we're going to place some power poles down like this, connect them to a steam generator, and that will give us the power we need. Now we've got some basic smelting in place, we need to think about automation. For right now, it's simple. Automation factories, inserters and belts. This is it. This is 90% of the game. The other 10% is simply making sure the factory grows.
No! That is not good enough. That is not 90% of the game. What about biters? What about making circuits, automating? And what about launching the balloon rocket?
Okay, it's not 90%, it's more like 65.
Haven't you forgotten about defences? And that biter nest you annoyed earlier?
Don't be absurd. Of course I haven't forgotten about it.
So, what's that noise?
Biters. No, this isn't going to end well!
Why don't you just cut it so no one sees?
And for no reason whatsoever, we are just going to repair some buildings. You can do this by simply holding down the repair tool on the damaged item. Any item that is completely destroyed will need to be replaced.
What about defences? What about them? You gonna do them now? Hey?
It is vital to ensure that you have defences in place. So we will queue up some research, and in the meantime, we will go on a rampage and show those little biters a thing or two.
You may have gone a little too far this time, bud.
We best put down some defences, I guess, and scatter them about. Next up is some basic automation. We're going to need lots of belts, inserters, assemblers, and miners. So, there is no better time than the present to hack it all together. When it comes to Factorio, there are a lot of similarities to software engineering. You can waste hundreds of hours doing it perfect to have it all wiped out by a few bugs. So what we want to do is get something working and then improve on it. make it work, make it better. Bear in mind that right now, we just don't have any technologies unlocked. So we need to get some red science up and working to start unlocking some upgrades so we can start automating more and getting better equipment to move forward.
What he means to say is, I'm going to keep guessing at what I'm doing and tell you it's part of some great plan.
The bare minimum we need to get for automation is fast inserters, long inserters, steel furnaces, electric miners, and some form of power. This will be enough to ensure we can get the rest of red and green science automated and to start building out our starter base. In the background, I've been tearing down and rebuilding the base, getting away from burner miners to electric. Thanks to the small factory we made earlier, and now we can increase the coal and iron mining. This will help feed the little automated science facility I built earlier. We can also start to automate the small factory so it doesn't rely on chests anymore, which will save us time running around later. Automating power is also a great time saver. So when we talk about a starter base in Factorio, what we really mean is something scaled enough to get us to endgame. And by endgame, I really mean mid-game. More on that in later episodes. For now, we just need something super janky to get us to the point where we can make something a little less janky and provide us tools we need to scale out.
A quick break to show you how you can repurpose some of your automation, as some items have the same recipes. Oh, and don't forget to automate furnaces. So, you're going to fudge your existing base into making as much as it can with as little thought as possible.
Yep. So, what does that look like? Well, I don't know. We're just gonna wing it.
See? I said he was gonna guess. I knew it.
One key point in Factorio is that you'll never have enough. So, we could use a calculator, but this is not a final design. We're going to evolve it. Make it work, make it better.
Wing it and wing it, basically.
Now, we can set up a very simple automated furnace build with some direct insertion. For the astute among you, well done. You would have noticed I have built some basic power and basic smelting, but we need to scale this a little more so we can make more science. To do that, we need to build out some smelting. Our core resources right now are iron, coal and copper. The first priority is coal and power, then iron, then copper. So let's get that done and run some belts out so we can start making things.
And so the spaghetti begins. Look at it. It's going everywhere.
Now we have that done, we need to get red science up and working. The good news here is it's two things. And one of them comes right out of the furnaces, and the other is just a single item craft. Let's grab these outputs and start throwing them into research labs. Oh, and the cool thing here, you can pass science packs through research labs. So we'll do that. With that done, we just need to queue up some red science while we start working on green science.
And by that he means red science literally right away while adding in green science anyway.
We're just going to throw in some handcrafted green science to help progress the research. Time to say hello to some neighbours, I guess. I think that went well. The neighbours seem okay. Now they are dead anyway. Best get on with green science. Now luckily we're already producing gears and copper plates, but we need to also make belts and inserters, and they take green circuits and they need copper wires. So let's do the copper wires. We only need one assembler for that. Similar story with belts. We need to siphon some gears and throw in our iron plates. We are also going to make use of a buffer box here. We are making way more belts and inserters than our science assemblers can consume, so this will help give us the resources we need to build the rest of the factory. Also, no limits on the chests. We need all of these, trust me. So as part of green science, we create inserters and belts, but we need assemblers as well. If we have that, we've basically recreated our early stage mall. So let's build the assemblers now, and then we can head back and start thinking about expanding green science. To do this, we're going to need to reposition the research facilities and do a bit of repiping of the belts to make it work. We also need to expand green science. Roughly, green science is twice as many assemblers as red science, so let's make some room and place them down. A quick detour to add extra iron production. One other thing here is we should also make sure that we're backlogging core components like green circuits. So now we can place down more inserters and get them ready to feed the research facilities. Once that's done, we can simply rebuild the green science assemblers to make full use of the belt that we have, and this will increase our green science production, meaning that we can get closer to endgame and research some of those vital sciences we need to take on the biters. And now we can finally plant those extra assemblers we needed for green science. And we're done. Well, not quite. We need to make some more welcoming gifts for our neighbours.
Maybe start working on a nice wall?
So first up, we're going to put some iron into this assembler to make yellow ammo. Then we're going to pass it into this other assembler along with some copper and steel, and that will make red ammo. Once that's done, we can go say hello to our biters. With the majority of the biters taken care of, we start blocking up this east side and ensure we don't get any migrating biters from here. Connecting it to the power and providing radar coverage gives us the visibility we need to keep an eye on those few turrets and ammo. So, we need to hook this up to our main power supply, and we'll just throw down these power poles quickly and connect it up to our main one. Yes, we should be using large power poles, but this is what I've got, and I don't want to make an extra trip back to the main base. Now we've got that in place, we can see exactly what's going on with the base right next to our eastern flank, and I think it's probably time to head into the car and go say hello to those biters at the top. Now to clear the last of the biters on the north, and not get the buggy trapped. So here you see the classic spin in circles maneuver to kill all the biters.
Yeah, which is great until you hit a bloody tree or something.
Which isn't going to happen, obviously. We're never going to crash into a tree. That'd be stupid. Okay, abandoned vehicle. Run. It's okay. It's fine. It's fine. We've got fish. Fish will save us. We just need to go kill these spitters. Okay, yeah. Put the fish in my hand. And look at this. It's very easy. We've got loads of fish. We don't need to worry about anything. We just need to keep shooting and munching that fish, and we will keep our health fully filled. And you know, there's really nothing to worry about. Oh, there's still 3 left. Okay. Well, I guess. I guess we deal with it. By the power of fish, I will beat you. Why are there 2 left? No! Die! This is not retreating. It is regrouping.
Are you sure about that?
Yes, I'm sure. You don't need to worry about anything. I'm just gonna go fishing. Nothing to see here. It's always good to have some extra fish on hand, and that will keep us well stocked. No reason to look at this. This is fine. Don't worry about it. Now that we have some fish, we are going to go back and finish the job. Never give up, never surrender. Woo! Victory!
Okay, I think you need to just chill just a little bit. It's great that you're trying your best, but at the end of the day, it's literally 3 spitters. You really shouldn't be struggling this much. Just wiggle. No, stop running in straight lines. Wiggle.
We did it!
What about that one biter nest over there to the north?
Shut it. And now for a nice walk back to the base to take in the air.
You mean because you blew up the buggy by crashing it into a tree?
Now, let's get military science done and make sure we are backlogging ammo, walls and gun turrets. Normally, I make nowhere near enough red ammo, so I will be making more of that than I need. First up, expanding the wall production. We will need some more walls, many more walls, all of the walls. So, let's get them backlogging. We will hack the existing red ammo factory into the military science production by weaving carefully the red ammo through the other factories.
Spaghetti!
Grenades was just coal and iron, so we forced it on the side here. And to finally finish military science, we just need to get walls to the assemblers so they can craft it.
Spaghetti!
The first step is just weaving the military science into the research labs, and we're done. We have all of the military science up and running, and we now have a backlog of red ammo and gun turrets and walls. I did put a limit on the gun turrets to 3 stacks, but everything else we need loads of, so no limits. Now we need to look to the future.
Right, so now you want to plan ahead? Great. Where was that for the last 20 minutes?
So, as I was saying, we need a lot more power for the next phase of building. So we will throw that together, so hopefully we don't need to worry anytime soon about it.
And by that, you basically mean a single episode. Maybe not even a full episode. Maybe just half an episode, something like that?
One thing to bear in mind is that each water pump can generate enough water for about 20 steam generators. And each steam generator can only generate enough steam for 2 steam turbines. Now what we're going to do is throw together a little hacky oil setup to get us the basic materials we need to progress. Enough to create red circuits, enough to get some plastic going, and we'll have to fix this later when we build out the rest of the base. But again, we have to make something just to get us going, and then we'll rebuild it later to give us the full throughput that we want. And the whole game, as I said earlier, is about making something work, making it better. You have to continuously iterate on it. So with that all said and done, I've been Soma Freak, you've been awesome, and I'll see you in the next one.